Okay, so divine time in the car. This is my first sitting in traffic video. I was talking to a homegirl about triggers, okay? And when we are more cognizant or aware of when they happen, and what does that mean for us? And what I see from this is that triggers are a way to learn how to harmonize ourselves with the day, with life, with people, as well as recalibrating ourselves. A lot of times we say we don't like something, right? And then we get involved in it, and then we kind of make these excuses as to why we're going to overlook that one thing we said we don't like. So when a trigger takes place, an example like this: every guy you've ever dated or the men in your life, they never show up when they're supposed to when you need them. You know, when an emergency happens or a situation arises where you need male to step in, they're never there. And then it triggers you, it causes you to get angry, it causes you to lash out and feel some kind of way. A lot of times we don't pay attention to that trigger. We just get like that every time. You know, we're always saying, oh, every dude I talk to don't ever come through, I can't stand them, X, Y, and Z. Instead of doing that, take that and say, you know what? I don't like the way this person makes me feel. And then you're able to calibrate yourself. You have a scale. So on one end, you know what you don't like and how you don't want to feel. And then on the other end, you know what you do like and how you do want to feel. And if you have that, when you get around somebody or a situation or an event that causes you to start having these feelings, now you can kind of like recalibrate yourself and figure out, okay, you know what? I remember that feeling. I am not going to continue to let this trigger have power over me where I am lashing out. Instead, I don't like this feeling. I'm going to remove this from my auric state, my surroundings. I like this feeling. I'm going to keep it in. I like who this person is. I like what they're bringing. Does that necessarily mean that you cut somebody off if they're, you need them to come, a guy, say you're dating a guy or a girl or whatever, you need them to show up and they don't show up? There could be reasons why they didn't. You could also be creating that emotion or that feeling of that trigger that necessarily didn't have to be there because you're creating a narrative that doesn't exist. Okay? But if it does exist, then what you can do instead of letting that trigger have power over you, meaning lashing out, yelling, whatever it may be, you can then say, okay, you know what? I don't like the way this person makes me feel, or the situation makes me feel. I'm going to calibrate myself by setting up these boundaries so that I can stay in alignment. That I don't allow this situation or this person or this thing to cause me to step outside of who I really am. And I think that's so important. Again, going back to self-mastery. It's not easy. This process takes a lot of thought. You're constantly having to work through what is going on in life. The beautiful thing about it is when you do that, you relieve a lot of stress on you, a lot of confusion, a lot of not seeing it for what it is, settling. Because we sometimes ignore our triggers. At times. Triggers are warnings to let us know, right? It's like something's about to happen. We need to make a change. And we ignore them. We try to pretend like they don't exist. We use them as excuses for our behavior when it's not necessary. And that's because we don't want to deal with what is being presented to us. And so there we ignore the things that make us feel unbalanced. Okay? So we're going back again to aligning ourselves. So I think it's important that we don't look at triggers as necessarily like a bad thing, but that we start to be doing the work to become one with our triggers and allow them to be that, like I said, that warning, letting you know, okay, I'm starting to feel some kind of way about something. Let me take a step back. Let me reassess the situation. Let me go recharge, refocus, recenter, and align myself before I deal with it. And again, this is all so that you can be at peace on a regular basis. Because I don't know about you, but when I look back at a lot of times how I used to react emotionally with my triggers, I got tired of it, Get tired of feeling the same feeling, going through the same thing, having temporary happiness for a minute, and then boom, here you are back again on, the same weird cycle roller coaster, because you never really dealt with it. You never understood, why does this make me feel this way? Why do I keep accepting certain things in my life that I know that I should be eliminating? Why am I being hard-headed? Why am I so afraid to not change? Why do I want to keep this environment? Do your pros and cons list, And then you realize, you get tired. You get tired of your own stuff. It's just important to start taking care of yourself and focusing on you. You're no benefit to anybody else around you if you're not okay. And especially if you continue to put people in your life that don't make you feel okay, because that energy as well plays a part. We're talking about uplifting vibrations, changing your frequency. You want to be at the highest level that we can be at. So do the work. Look into your triggers. Understand why they're happening. Use them. Empower yourself over them by using them to allow you to be present. Make the right decisions. Okay? Bring the right people in your life. We all want peace, love, and light.